what's up, ladies and gentle-tubers? It is eveRide. This is day 7.2 of the West Coast Adventure Tour, ADV for all, and this day was a game changer in the whole trip. I actually traded in the Kawasaki KLR 650 for a Kawasaki KX 450, a motocross purpose-built motorcycle that tore my face off, and it was amazing. And that's what you see me riding right now in this footage. But I met up with Nesta Productions, as I mentioned in the earlier video, and another awesome YouTuber named Wandering Beast. Now, if you're not familiar with Nesta Productions, definitely check him out. He makes some really amazing cinematic videos, does some good moto vlogs, and he's just all-around really good guy, good friend. Came out to Moab. He's just got an eye for making awesome cinema, photography angles, and just making things look really interesting. And Wandering Beast is another one of those guys that you have to check out. He is probably the most interesting man in the world, next to the Dos Equis guy, because he fights wildland forest fires, he conducts cruises to the Antarctic, he rides an awesome 1990 KLR 650 painted desert, and he's just a generally super awesome guy. Does a lot of survival gear reviews and things like that. Definitely check out both of their channels by clicking on their respective pictures here. And without further ado, we'll go ahead and get into the meat of this trip with some awful sync-up attempts. But other than that, a fantastic day of riding. So hope you enjoy.
Okay. Camera on.
Camera on.
Yeah,
you gotta.
That'll be perfect.
We got it. It's synced up. There we go. Surprisingly enough, that actually wasn't the worst sync up, and actually neither was this one, which I actually didn't have audio on. We tried many times, but none of them was quite as good as this attempt coming. All right, we got to go over the top on this sync up, all right? I'm like over the top, all right? What should we do? Dance moves with a twist.
Dance moves with a twist?
Okay, so this is the dance. This is how we're going to do, and everybody has to do it, so.
The pelvic thrust?
Yeah, okay, yeah. So we're going to go like this, all right? Okay? And then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then and then a spin, and then a ha, and then a ha. All right? Okay, we ready? This is going to be the sync of a lifetime. So I'm going to get hate for this. It's just inevitable. Okay, ready? All right, ready, get set, go. Hey, hey, 3, 4, spin, ha, thrust. I don't know if that did anything to sync us up. Let's just, here. There we go. That's it's on the hips. I see on the back you've got the Unitrack sticker. What year is this?
This is a 90.
What?
Yeah. We're
like a boss.
38,000.
That's why you buy a
awesome.
KLR, ladies and gentlemen. So throughout this dual vlog, we were actually, we didn't have a structure, so we were just talking about whatever we wanted to talk about. The first thing that we brought up was being brave enough to post something on YouTube, even though it was your first time and it could mean criticism. Another thing that I noticed is it had been a while since I'd talked to anybody besides myself, so I talked a lot, so forgive me for that. I think that's what a lot of people don't realize on YouTube is, they think, oh, well, in order for you to post videos on YouTube, you gotta be like the most hardcore and the best of the best and have ridden around the world 6 times and stuff. Otherwise, you get no respect or something, I don't know.
Yeah, YouTube's a funny thing.
I mean, I think that's a unique perspective, is guys who are new to motocross or new to adventure riding or new, Because 99% of the people out there are new. Not everybody can be a professional motocross racer or, have gone around the world.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of nice sometimes to get things from the perspective of an everyday man, Yeah. Like, because, when I do this adventure or when I come out riding or whatever, I really can say, oh, I just learned this, and this is how it helps. It's not like I'm an instructor and I've been doing it for 50 years and it's just natural, so I don't remember what the tip actually is or how it feels. Stuff is not second nature to me. It's foreign,
Mainly, I'm just saying I suck at pretty much everything you see me doing, and I'm okay with that because because you know, people need a baseline and people need courage to feel like they can make it happen themselves. You know, if you see somebody, you know, going around the world but they've done it 10 times, that's nothing new or scary for them. It's not the stories of you know, guys that are raised like Crocodile Dundee and they do this stuff, because those guys are already awesome. It's doinky guys like me, you know, new people that are stupid and inexperienced, and you know, you can see where they fail, and then you're like, okay, I don't have to fail that way.
Well, Tyler, for one, you don't give yourself enough credit, man. I'm just gonna say that right now. Yeah, you're still learning stuff, but hell, everybody's learning stuff constantly.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to pitch on the channel, you know? It's like, you can be new and kind of suck at stuff. And the worst kind of hater is the person who has done some stuff and they make it seem impossible to everybody else because they want to be that elite, you know? Like the guys who go around the world and then just sit there and critique everybody else because they did it and the way they did it was the way that worked for them. But they make it sound so intimidating and scary and terrible for everybody else that it pushes people away. And man, it's such an awesome hobby. I think this is the best hobby in the world. The more the merrier. So why would you ever try to like push people away and try to be an elitist when this is such an awesome thing that you can do it with your wife, you can do this with your whole family, you know?
Yeah.
So
it's best done with people, but it's also awesome alone.
It's true, but there's some things about being alone that are like crap your pants scary.
Yeah.
I see eyes. I see eyes. Oh my gosh, I see eyes. I don't know if you can see that, but you can see the eyes in the reflection. There's 2 eyes. What is that? So at this point, the discussion turned to different schools of thought, and when people are so adamant about, you know, how they do things and how that's the only way, and how they can be hostile and really discouraging to people who do things a different way.
It's funny because, you know, depending on what forum you go to or who you listen to, there's guys out there that are like, you're taking way too much. You should take like only the bare necessities, and they're like sleeping bag and a toothbrush, that's it, you know? And that school of thought's totally legit. And then there's guys who are like, well, you need to upgrade your rear shock so you can pack a whole lot more stuff, and so you can have all your tools with you and be able to do a bike rebuild, and you know, that's a school of thought too. But you know, there's all kinds of different schools of thought, and I appreciate when people share what has worked for them, but I can't stand when people think that their way is the only way.
Man, I have a feeling though that a lot of the haters and a lot of that, like, this is the way you should be doing it. I mean, it's like, do you even adventure, bro? Like, do you even do what you're talking about? It's kind of like you don't see these people with a lot of pictures, or maybe not pictures, but it's like, dude, video or it didn't happen. Like, what's your experience?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that there's a lot of keyboard warriors out there that just like to hate on other people because, man, they're jealous. They're just jealous of everybody, you know?
Yeah.
Like, because they're couch potatoes on their computer and making excuses in their life for not going out and doing what they want to do.
Yeah.
And so they're trying to live vicariously through you and your channel, but they're trying to exert some kind of, you know, control over it at the same time, so they don't feel so out of control and worthless. And I think that's the majority of those haters.
Now, at this point in the ride, the conversation turned to what motorcycle manufacturers and equipment manufacturers are kind of doing to polarize the community and to kind of split people apart when it comes to how things should be done. And, you know, through marketing tactics and things like that, trying to persuade you that one way is the only way to go, the safest way to go, or whatever, when realistically there's so many different ways that are good ways to go.
Well, and the unfortunate part about that is that's what the marketing for those companies wants you to believe too. You gotta have the panniers, you gotta have hard panniers, you gotta have, you know, and then their competition is like, well, you break your ankles with hard panniers, you know. So there's always schools of thought, and when it comes down to it, it's just go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like what Half Throttle says: ride far, travel safe, do it soon. Just just do it. Just
Well,
go.
you don't know what's going to suit your needs until you do it yourself.
Yeah, that's why I didn't do a packing list before this adventure, because I'm doing the packing list afterwards, so I can say this was worthless, this thing saved my butt, this was cool, this wasn't needed, you know? Because if I was finding out some of the stuff that I'm finding out on my way to, like, Peru, I might have an aneurysm and die.
So when it comes down to it, you know, in this day and age where we can research whatever we want on the internet, we can go talk to people on Facebook groups and forums and watch videos and get reviews and get advice. You know, there's so many tools at our disposal, and there's so many things that can really help us improve our adventure. But when it really comes down to it, it's super important just to go. Just to go and experience it yourself and find out what really works for you. And that's what's so amazing about adventure motorcycling is everybody's different. People's bodies are different. People's preferences are different. Some people want to hit more crazy dirt. Some people want a really comfortable ride on the road. And until you get out there and actually do it yourself, you kind of don't know what you're talking about, and you don't know what you're missing or what you're not missing. In my opinion, the more adventures you can take, the better. The more experiences you can have, the better. And however other people want to do it, that's the way they want to do it. And we can offer help or assistance or advice. But when we start to get condescending, or we start to tell people that they should do this or they should do that, or even people after their trip that they should have taken this or they should have used this tire or they should have gone this certain route, that makes people second guess. And, you know, as a community, we should be above that. We should encourage other people to ride their own ride. We should encourage people to experience things how they want to, because if everybody experiences something the same way with the same tires on the same motorcycle on the same route, then that dilutes adventure. So let people make mistakes. Let people go live things themselves, because that's what adventure is all about. So give advice, give encouragement, but don't tell people that they're doing it wrong, because there really is no way to take a wrong adventure.